we're not live yet. Nobody heard me burp.
Bingo!
Bingo. Nobody heard me burp. Okay. As long as nobody heard it, it never happened. There's a lot of news today. A lot. I'm feeling a smidge better, but I'm not 100%. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be best. I think that was the way the president's first woman said we should do things. I believe she said be best. So I'm going to be best today. There was no proofreader. I'm just curious. When Melania Trump said, my new motto for America, a new American motto is be best. Does she not have an editor? Does the First Lady not have a producer, a handler, a PR team, a proofreader, a teacher, English as a first language teacher? Does the First Lady have none of that? Because you would think when Melania Trump, and I know this was like 10 years ago or close to it, when she came out with her be best motto, do you think her and all her girlfriends, I'm just kidding, she probably doesn't have any friends, but do you think she got a little tattoo that said be best, zzz, 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 be best? Was there no one in the world, no one to tell her, that sounds dumb. Girlfriend, don't be best. Maybe treat yourself. Maybe if she had come out with the saying, the motto, treat yourself. That would have been cool for Americans to have the First Lady say, my whole platform is going to be treat yourself. But instead, we got a First Lady who said, be best. So even though I'm not feeling 100%, I'm going to be best today. Whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. I don't know what be best means. Who's best? And who's B? B. Arthur? Is it B. Arthur's best? Was she just saying B. Arthur from The Golden Girl was best? We'll never know. And most of us don't care.
And the enemy is the oligarchy.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Graham.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Decorum. It's what the president has. Decorum. Well, he did say.
Educated. I love the poorly educated.
Oh, and listen to them cheer for themselves. Listen to them cheer for themselves. So we've got a lot of news to get to. We have meme news. We got meme news. First, let me throw this up, because if you're new to the channel, I don't know who called it Project 2028. What's the White Supremacy Heritage Foundation Project 2025? Oh, is that why they're calling, like, because like that was like the, you know, them fragile racist boys that work at the Heritage Foundation, the hard right think tank. They called their thing Project 2025. I gotta make this meme because I didn't make this one, but I don't like that they're calling this Project 2028. Don't like it. Let's call it like Project Jesus. I gotta think. My brain is fried. Product. Let's call it product health code violation. We gotta call it something other than Project 2028. I don't like that. Let's call it the American way. How about American Zombie? How about the American Dream Rebirth of a Nation? 12 years, not going to be a slave anymore to the corporate overlords. It's a long title, but it's a working title. But if you're new to the channel, this is what we're fighting for. That should be a song. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'll try it again. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Lin-Manuel Miranda Lambert. Could you please make a catchy tune about this stuff, please, and slip it into Moana 3. Ooh, that sounds weird. If there's any mag in the chat, I didn't mean slip it in like that. I know you pedo pagans love your love being predators. I didn't mean it like that. I meant Lynn Manuel Miranda Lambert, whatever his name is. It's a long one. That's a tongue twister. Try saying his name once slow. If he could write a song about this stuff, we're going to overturn Citizens United, and we're going to take personhood back from corporations. We're going to rip personhood right out of those corporations' souls. We're going to rip the souls out of Target and Amazon and Walmart and Kroger and Albertsons. They shouldn't have souls. We're doomed if AI gets here. You people already allowed corporations to have souls and personhood. I'm done with it. AI, you don't have a soul. Robots, you don't have a soul. Corporations, you don't have a soul. We're going to give women the right to choose. Women, full autonomy over your body. I think it's ridiculous. It's hearsay or heresy. It's a word. It's one of the words that you would say in this instance that people go, oh, land of the free. And then they're like, but we're going to regulate women's bodies. Not on my watch. I'm not even wearing a watch, so not on my non-watch hand. Term limits for SCOTUS, and if they're found taking gifts from billionaires, we put them in the stockades again and let people chuck tomatoes at them. Get rid of the Electoral College. I mean, let's face it, most MAGA don't even like college. Ba-doom. So they should be fine. We should just call the Electoral College woke, and MAGA would be like, yeah, defund the Electoral College. It's woke. The professors are woke. So let's just, guys, here's the secret. We're going to trick all these dumb Trump lovers. And that's not me calling them dum-dums. That's Donald Trump. He said it. I'm going to play you the clip.
Smart people don't like me.
He said, smart people don't like me. That means stupid people love him. So we just tell MAGA that the Electoral College is woke, okay? You say, like, Cornell West teaches there, and Noam Chomsky is a professor emeritus, or whatever it's called. And we tell them that's where Martin Luther King graduated from. And we just trick these idiots. And we say the Electoral College is woke. We got to defund it. And then we'll get rid of it, okay? So that's how we trick MAGA to get the Electoral College out of here. Outlaw gerrymandering nationwide. If we could trick MAGA to thinking gerrymandering was, maybe we call it gerrymander and say it's like a black or brown person, because then they would want to outlaw it immediately, you know? Those racist assholes. We're going to return fairness doctrine in media. I'm guessing that means, like, stop being billionaire mouthpieces. I don't really know what that one means. Universal healthcare for all. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. You know what? If I, like, these dummies, they're like, oh, leftists rule the country. It's like, we don't even have a left party. We have Republicans and diet Republicans. And even if you voted for all blue, the diet Republican lights, also known as Democrats, they're not. They wouldn't give us universal health care, okay? But when us leftists take control, you know, not the Nazis, not the fascists, the people that are in charge right now, but when us leftists take control, I was thinking about this. We're going to be dictators. And you know what? We're going to make you have free health care. If you want to get a surgery done, by God, you'll have it. And if you would like the latest wheelchair, my goodness, you're going to get the greatest wheelchair you've ever had. And if you're going hungry, not anymore. We're going to make sure you have all the food you can eat. Nobody starves on our watch. So that's what I would do if I was a dictator. No more, I would say, Uber, GoFundMe, I'm putting you out of business. Nobody's going to call you when they have a heart attack or have to pay for a heart attack anymore. Because when I'm in control, when I run this land, we're not going to fund Argentina. We're not going to run meme coins. We're not going to build ballrooms. We don't ballroom dance. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make sure all the special educators are paid six figures. We're going to make sure every kid gets a good education, good food at school, no lunch debt. Imagine trying to convince kids that they should incur debt to eat at school. My God. We're going to make sure that all this shit goes to the wayside, and we're going to take care of Americans. So universal health care for all. Once you get into Congress, you're not allowed to stock trade. Because, they oversee, they get elected where they're supposed to be public servants. They're supposed to represent the public. My eyes can't even roll back hard enough right now. And then they go there and they have oversight committees where they look over these different industries that they're also trading stocks on. Wonder how they're all millionaires? All of them. Nancy Pelosi to Chuck Schumer to Farty McGee down in Texas, whatever his name is, and Slender Man in Florida. I think his name is Rick Scott. But I've not seen Slender Man and Rick Scott in the same place at the same time. So, you know what I mean? And I've seen Slender Man, and I've seen Rick Scott, and I'm not sure who is who. And they've never appeared together. So just think about that. Okay? Florida. Slender Man might be your senator. Have you ever seen them in the same place at the same time? No, you haven't. We're going to cap congressional salaries 1.5 times their median income of their district. They've given themselves raises 2 or 3 times. Meanwhile, they've voted, Republicans specifically, voted against raising the federal minimum wage. So no more of that. We're going to tax billionaires out of existence. Now, some of you don't understand what that means. Let me explain it. Once you get to $999,999,999.99, shit, that's a lot of money. Like, think about that. That took me so long to say, and that's how much money they have. But they have way more than that. Well, once you get to that 99999999999 figure, everything above that is taxed at 100%. And guess what, Doge? I just found billions of dollars for the government. Ooh, look at me. Ooh, and I'm not an illegal immigrant from South Africa. So look at that. I just solved your fucking, what did we add? 2 trillion to the deficit, fastest we've ever done. We just added 2 trillion to the deficit, giving rich people tax cuts and cutting food from the hungry. Meanwhile, just a little old poor me sitting over here said, well, if we taxed billionaires at 100% and they just had to live off of $999 million, I know that's such a little bit of money. What will they do? But if we just tax them at 100%, guess what? Well, with Elon Musk, I just found $499 billion. Isn't that incredible? Look at that. Look at all the things we can do with that. We're going to tax unrealized gains used as loan collateral. We're going to tax the fuck out of mega churches. Oh, yeah, Joel Osteen, we're coming for your riches, bitches. And we're going to raise the federal minimum wage. I got to edit that to $66 an hour. $66 an hour. Hi ho, 66. We got to go. You people are morons. And Donald Trump said it best. I know MAGA's in the chat, and I know MAGA's bots are in the chat, so let me just play a clip of Donald Trump calling you stupid.
Smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him, and I hate him. So what does that say? I must be super intelligent. And for all you sniffing his turd undies, you ain't that intelligent. Here's a little thing for you to think about. MAGA had a choice: protect children or Trump. Oh, and they chose. They chose. They chose, bitches. They chose. But we're gonna go through some meme news, and then but I just want to show you, if you're new to the program, which old New Englanders, they don't say program. If you talk to anybody who's from New England, who's a real old timer, they say program, like pilgrim. I say program. I say we're gonna head up north and watch the programs. I love old New Englanders. They're a weathered bunch. All right, let's get to some meme news, and then we're going to talk about our hero, Michael Wolff, suing Melania Trump. Because her and her boyfriend, are they married? Or is he still married to that other wife he had? I don't remember. But this lady, remember Be Best? Remember that she couldn't even like have a proofreader or an English teacher? Someone to say like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be best. Be your best. Be the best. Do be best. Doobie doobie do be best. Remember the doobie doobie doo penguins? Were they penguins? Doobie doobie doo. I think that was a Bud Ice commercial. Remember old Be Best? Well, she tried to threaten to sue him, to silence him, to talk, because he interviewed Jeff Epstein. And he said, how about I jujitsu that lawsuit you were threatening me with, and I sue you? And now he has the power to subpoena her and that guy that she married that wears makeup. You know, the orange dude? Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's our president. He should do a, listen, I always said he should do a Tic Tacs ad. Remember Donald Trump? Do you remember that dude? I said he should do a Tic Tacs ad, because if you've never heard him talk about Tic Tacs, holy shit, let me play this clip for you. It is absolutely disgusting. Makes me want to throw up in my mouth. Hold on. Here we go. This is Donald Trump talking about Tic Tacs.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Oh, without her consent. He wants to just start kissing her without her consent. Official mint of kissing women without their consent. Tic Tacs. And right before it, he said this.
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
Oh my God. And then he threw on Tic Tacs. So I've always said that orange guy that wears makeup, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's our president. I've always said he should go to Tic Tacs and say, Tic Tacs, I have a White House sponsorship for you. And he should pop them open, chug the whole bottle, swallow it without chewing, say Epstein loved that. That's what he should say. He'll swallow all the Tic Tacs whole, won't chew them, and he'll go, Epstein loved that I had a no gag reflex. And then he should say, Tic Tacs, I could be your sponsorship, the official sponsorship of moving on her like a bitch and not getting there, just in case you're going to kiss her. Go, 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 go. But how has the president not gone to Maybelline and said, you want a good sponsor? I mean, they make fun of gender affirming care all the time, but Pete Hegseth gets Botox. Elon Musk gets hair put from his butt to his head, or I don't know how they do it. I'm assuming they shave his butt and they put it on his head and they just glue it on there. And they're like, you look great, buddy. That'll be $1 billion. And Donald Trump wears makeup. You know, you see it on his hand. He's covering up the zombie bite. He powders his face all the time. It's not a natural orange glow. I think he should do ads. I think Donald Trump should do ads. Where he goes, strong enough for a man, pH balanced for a woman. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's your president. I might be confusing some of these ads. I'm sorry. I've been sick all week, so my brain is not working. But we're going to get to... they like to sue people to quiet them, and he's trying to sue people to find out the truth. But before we get to that... Oh, and we got this news too. FBI agents visit anti-ICE protester. But I want to get to some meme news. Robert Reich was tweeting, today's inflation. Oh my God, my brain is so cooked right now. I've been so sick all week, but I'm still trying to be here with you. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Prices are rising at their fastest pace since January. Food inflation in particular is hitting Americans hard. Could this be the reason? And then it says, Kroger got caught repeatedly overcharging shoppers. And I wanted to bring this up because I just encountered this last week. I don't know about you, but I pay attention to prices when I shop. And at the store I went to, they had one price that was $6.99 for some bread. And the price below it, or no, sorry. The price on the thing, on the metal bars or whatever, you know, the prison cell that they give the bread. I'm guessing that's what the food thinks. You know, it's like I sit here in a prison until someone takes me home. But on the metal bars, it said $4.99. But then when I picked the bread up, they stickered it and it said $6.99. Now here in Massachusetts, knowing is half the battle. The other half is implementing that knowledge. If there's a discrepancy, they have to either give you the lowest price, or if it's under $10, give it to you for free. They didn't give it to me for free, but I took a picture, take a picture of the price, the mispricing, and I showed it to them. And if the cashier won't do it, you tell them, go get a manager. And usually the laws are posted right there at checkout. So you just say, just read the law, dummy. You know, why are you trying to defend this store from price gouging me? I'm trying to help you get a better price on things. And they gave it to me for the lower price. So this one I really wanted to bring to your attention, because these corporations have to fear no one. Usually, just so you libertarians understand what regulations are the things that make corporations have to follow the law. They regulate if they can rip you off or not. That's why it's important we have them, because without them, with the presidency we have now, the regime in charge, they don't care what corporations do. They just gave them a free-for-all pass. Because, you know, a felon is sitting in the demolished White House. So if you're in Massachusetts, just know that, you know, because never pay full price when they're trying to rip you off, especially when they have price discrepancies. And if you go to the store, notice that now they're putting digital tags in. Walmart's doing that so they could change the price and do the, what's it called? It's like the inflated price. Like if everyone's buying ice cream, they're going to raise the price of ice cream real quick. I forget. It's called like something pricing. Dynamic. It's the stupidest thing. It just should be called price gouging. And corporations pay people to think up clever ways to relabel price gouging. They're like, oh, it's dynamic pricing. Yeah, the only thing that dynamic about that is your profits, bitches. So Kroger executive admits company gouged prices above inflation. No, listen, if people are going to say stupid shit like supply and demand when you have the CEOs, the executives admitting they price gouged, like you're spreading lies and you're harming your neighbors. I'm showing you this because this is the people who are setting the prices saying, yeah, we price gouge. But again, if you're remember folks, there are people that work for Walmart, work for these corporations, work for Amazon and Target and Netflix and whatever, and they like to send them into the chat to act like real people and say, oh, no, guys, we should all be paying $20 for one egg. You know, like they have the money to pay people to try to convince you to fight with each other instead of understanding that, no, they admitted they price gouged. Simple. There is no debate on this. So, while they're paying their CEO $15 million, I wonder how they afforded to pay the CEO $15 million. Well, if you're price gouging and you're making tons of extra money, yeah, that's going to go to the top. And then that trickles down to some of the people who are in the chat going, no, guys, supply and demand. Take a supply and demand course. It's like they clearly admitted it. Fucking morons. And what else do they do? Stock buybacks, which, by the way, these stock buybacks were illegal until 1982 when the Reagan administration legalized them. Why were they illegal? Because if you look it up and read about stock buybacks, they were illegal because it was artificially inflating the price of a stock without the company actually doing anything to make the stock rise. So they should be illegal again, but now companies are investing billions to inflate their own prices and then pay their CEOs who admit to price gouging. You see how that works, folks? 57% of grocery sales are from like a few companies, that not just Kroger or Albertsons. But I want to show you this because in some towns you can only go to Walmart. Or if you're in the 5 boroughs in New York, I know there's no Walmarts, so you have more options, but there's not like big grocery stores. But I wanted to show you this because look at Kroger or Albertsons own all of this. So if you think, oh, well, I shop at Fry's. Bitch, you shop at Kroger's or Albertsons. No, I shop at Vaughn's. No, I'm an Albertsons person. No, you shop at Kroger's or Albertsons. That's it. These are the two. No, you don't. Safeway, Shaw's? Nope. Cars? Hate to break it to you. Ralph's? Nope. Smith's? Nope. Lucky? Nope. It's all these two companies. And you think America gave you the free market and freedom of choice and supply and demand. I love the morons that say shit like that. Oh, what's up, Chief? Good to see you. I haven't even taken a minute to see the comments. Oh, cute puppy, you can get the fuck out of here. And don't come back. And don't come back. I will take the time to tell certain people to never come back. KT Liz, good to see you. Roman the Great, and you can see your way out too. I shop in their dumpsters. Jay Smith, love that. As long as they don't pour bleach on it and try to destroy it before. That's the amazingness of America. Instead of putting that food to good use, a lot of these companies destroy it or throw it in their dumpsters. Which again, that's why I said if leftists ever take control of this country, when leftists take control of this country, you know what we're gonna do? There's no more hunger, no more homeless vets. If there are 25 empty homes for every homeless person in America, guess what? We have more than enough housing. More than enough. We don't need to build more, supply and demand. No. You know what the leftists are going to do? We're going to put all those homeless people in homes. That's right. That's right. We're going to stop sending money to other countries. We're going to stop paying for other countries' universal health care. We are going to take care of our own people. Nobody ever again is going to have a heart attack and consider calling Uber. In fact, we're going to make the billionaires millionaires. And with that money, I just found $499 billion, guys. $499 billion. All we got to do is tax Elon Musk. Everything over $1 billion, 100%. And there's $499 billion. Free ambulance rides for everybody. That's what's going to happen when the left takes over. Free ambulance rides. Oh, you got a bloody nose? Take an ambulance. How do you like that? We're going to force it upon you too. Take that. Women, right to choose. People, right to health care. Oh, and we're going to make this no longer a thing. When presidents call their followers stupid.
Smart people don't like me.
What he said is stupid people like me. We're not going to make that a thing anymore. We're going to have a very educated proletariat. But let me say hi to some people. Who was here? Chief was here. CJ was here. KT Liz was here. It was good to see you guys. And listen, the MAGA in the chat, you know, the one that Trump called stupid, we understand. We understand. You can't think for yourself. That's why you love old Pedo Pan, Daddy Pedo Pan. And that's why shit like this scares you, thinking that nobody will be hungry, people will have homes, people won't go into debt for education or healthcare, nobody with insulin will have to worry about if they can afford to stay alive, shit like that. You know, we're gonna be the smartest, the most well taken care of. We're gonna have the greatest welfare state in the world. And I know that terrifies you. That terrifies you guys. Like, that's why you freak out in the comments. But we're gonna do it. And we're gonna do it with or without you. And you'll have to just reap the benefits of, you know, having something happen and not going into medical debt, or being able to get educated if you want. Horrible things, or having your kids not incur a debt for lunch. But we know what's important to you guys. What's important to you guys is Daddy Pedo Trump. And it's sad because Jesus said, you know, I love to bring Jesus into this because some of you claim to wear his cross and try to use him like a shield and use him to oppress others. But if you read what Jesus said, I think this is the book of Mark, you can just see that he said, you shall love the Lord. And the second one is, you shall unselfishly love your neighbor as yourself. And then he went on to say, there's no greater commandment than this. And notice how there's no asterisk here. He didn't say love them as long as they came here the right way. He didn't say love them as long as the same color skin as you. He didn't say love as long as they married who you approved they should marry and it didn't offend you. And it didn't say love them as long as, you know, they called Charlie Kirk a racist because he was one. There was no asterisk there. So for all you who claim to follow Jesus, I hope you're living by this. I hope you are, because that's what leftists are trying to do. We're trying to love our neighbors, universal health care, and we'll call it the Jesus plan, where he didn't charge a copay and he didn't check your insurer. Just go get healed. By the way, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're new here. We're building a huge movement with compassion and empathy. It's kind of the opposite of Joe Rogan's. I'm scared of the world, and I see things on the internet, so it terrifies me. And what's going on with the country? If there's gender-neutral bathrooms, like, we're building the opposite of that, and everything will just be a family bathroom. Family bathrooms all across America. Nobody has to worry about nothing. And these fragile snowflakes. Watch the chat. It's gonna explode. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. They can't handle it. They're the most fragile people. Like, who cares, man? Who cares? What does a bathroom have to do with fucking how much food costs or soy boy farmers in Arkansas farms closing? Like, you're focused on the wrong shit. Stop listening to Tim Pool. Okay, let's get to some new. Wait, was that all the meme news? Was that all the meme news? No, I think there was some more. Oh yeah, this is, look. We just crossed 38 trillion in debt. That's not even a year. So thank you, Republicans. You know, all those budget conscious fiscal conservatives. Yeah, 2 trillion in debt. Not even a full year. I love this, dude. I'm tired of leftism always being framed as extreme in these debates. You know why? Because the mainstream media is owned by corporations. USA gave corporations personhood, which means that corporations not only can influence politicians, so on the politics side, they're giving you the same message as the mainstream media, but the mainstream media does not want you to view each other as humans and as the 99% as a whole, because they, as the 1%, want you to feel like, oh, leftists are extreme. But listen to this. Saving our planet, providing everyone health care, and paying every worker a living wage is not extreme. Endless wars, predatory capitalism, and 2 billionaires owning more wealth than half of our nation is extreme. Hold on. What is it? Okay. I'll be right there. And look at this. This is also what they've done this year. Bailout Argentina, a ballroom. We know. We totally understand. Some of you love the ballroom, MAGA. You guys are total ballroom guys. Qatar jet upgrades. Well, he also got a jet from Qatar and they gave him an Air Force base on American soil. And a National Guard takeover. What can't we afford? You know, to feed the hungry, kids with cancer, healthcare for Americans, special ed programs. I mean, it's ridiculous. Hold on. What is it? Come here. Come here, little lady. Smug cat. Say hi, smug cat. Say hi. She hates fascists. I love seeing some of these people say I'm an idiot. When Trump called them stupid. Trump called them stupid. And I know they're Trump supporters.
Smart people don't like me.
He said smart people don't like him, and I know that guy likes Trump, because anyone who has compassion for other people, outside of Ghislaine Maxwell, anyone who has compassion for other people and wants, you know, elderly, people like you, people like me, the young, to have health care without going into medical debt, is very American, and Trump is anti-American. And to think any less of wanting Americans to have health care that is not going to put them into debt, like a commenter said before, who is not going to make them sell their home because they had to get a procedure or got old and got cancer or got old and got sick. I love how people call that idiocracy, because we can take this moment to realize that those are not good Americans. Those are evil, evil people that wish that your health be dictated by how much is in your pocketbook, which is just such an anti-American thing, especially when you understand how underpaid Americans are and how hard they work. Hold on, where did she go? Did you guys see where she went? I don't know where she just went, sorry. So if you ever feel heavy because you care deeply about injustice, suffering, and ecological destruction, remember that $1 trillion propaganda machine was built to make you numb, and it did not work on you. Yes, I include dental with free healthcare. Of course I do. You understand, I found $499 billion. Okay? That's $500 billion. The Republicans added $2 trillion in debt to the deficit this, not even in a full year. In 10 months, they added $2 trillion to the debt. And one little guy on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I found $500 billion in savings and funding for Americans to have healthcare, dental, education. And I did it in one simple way. I found an illegal immigrant, Elon Musk, who's here illegally from South Africa, and I said, we're going to tax him at 100% everything above $999,999,999.99. And we tax him at 100%, and I just found us $499 billion. So enjoy your free healthcare. Enjoy your free dental, bitches. Hold on. That's right. When the leftists take over, and tell your friends, we're not going to be trying to get comedians off of TV. We're not going to be going after, hold on, let me put up this story. We're not going to be going after anti-ICE protesters. We're not going to be going after people who are doing the most American thing you can do, and that is protest. Dissent against the government. That's the whole reason freedom of speech is in the first fucking amendment, in the first Bill of Rights. The reason it's first is because it's American to speak out against your government. It's American to have that right protected, to say that's what makes us different from all these other places. You're not going to do this right now. No. No, I said no. Why do you always think I say yes? Go find the other one. It is the most American thing you can do to protest. And when leftists take over, we're not going to spend time sending the FBI to anti-ICE protests. Well, ICE won't be a thing anymore. Remember, ICE only happened since, what, post 9/11? But we're not going to have, the government going after protest. This is such a crazy story. It's linked down below. This dude that showed up at a protest, FBI showed up at his house. We're not going to. Tell your friends. Spread the word. When the leftists take over, you're going to get free dental care. Oh, that cavity's been bugging you? Don't worry. Leftists got you. We've found $500 billion saved just by taxing one guy. Isn't that crazy? I found you $500 billion, and all I had to do was tax one of the billionaires. Imagine how much more we can have once we start taxing corporations and the other billionaires. So I found us $500 billion. You're going to get free dental. Your mama's going to get free dental. Your kids will get free dental. Everybody's getting free dental with their free healthcare. Something you've been putting off, that ache, that pain. Could you tell that there was a storm coming from 40 miles away because that knee was bothering you? Well, guess what? We're taking care of it. That's what happens when the leftists take over. Spread the word. We will tax capital. You shut your mouth. I don't like small-minded, in-the-box thinkers, okay? If you're uncreative, or if you're the least creative person, if people in art class would go, he drew a sun as a tennis ball with strings coming out of it. If you're one of those creatives, the lack of, I don't want you in the comments. Get out of here. Go on. You would have been the people when the founding of America happened, said there's nothing like it in the world. You can't do that. And I'm tired of hearing people say, this is the way it's been, or you can't do that. Shut up. People made up everything. This country, all made up. All the rules written by men. We can make up whatever the fuck we want, and we can make it work for us. We can make it awesome. Okay? Get ready for this. When leftists take over, 3-day work week. Friday through Monday, weekend. We might make bosses work Friday through Monday. But anyways, and if you're one of those hardcore grind culture guys because your family hates you, you can still work. You can work 70, 100 hours a week. No one's taking that away from you. Remember, we're going to make the land of the free actually mean that you're free to do what you want. But for the rest of us that love our families, that like to go camping, that want to enjoy what's left of nature before these corporations try to take it all from us, 3-day work week. Tuesday will be the new Monday. Wednesday, still going to have hump day. And then Thursday becomes the new exciting Friday. It's going to be awesome. So hit subscribe. We're going to make it happen. And all these people in the comments that are like, oh, you can't do that, liar. Da, da, da. It's like they believe Donald Trump, who said, I'm going to release the Epstein Files. And then after he said, oh, they don't exist. FBI, go scribble my name out of it. So like these people are, not reliable sources for anything. Remember that. Remember this. Remember, they worship Peter Pan, okay? He wished Ghislaine Maxwell well and then moved her to a camp, okay? Okay. Oh, did you see this? Speaking of MAGA, Melania Trump's meme coin architects accused of pump and dump fraud. Oh, what does the world come to when the First Lady, was she being best? I always ask myself that. I wake up in the morning and I say, be best. Am I being best? And not being best. Am I be best? And I'd like to think when she got together, she's not named in the lawsuit, but when these people created the meme coin in her name, it's called Melania, by the way. Hold on, let me pull it up. The Melania Trump, Melania meme coin. I always think to herself, was she be best? Was Melania be best when she did the meme coin? They were released for just a few cents each on January 19th, right before inauguration. And then the day before Donald Trump was inaugurated. Oh, wait, hold on. Here it is. So within hours, the Smellania, why'd they call it Smellania? Smelliania coin soared to $13.73. However, it quickly collapsed. And now, all you Smellania meme coin holders, it's only about 10 cents. It's worth about 10 cents. Less than 1% of its peak price. The Strump, traded at a peak of $45.47. Oh, I wonder why 45 and 47. There's nothing always coincidences, folks. Believe in coincidences. Yeah, it peaked at 45.47 and now only goes for 5.79. Yeah, definitely not pump and dumps. Although there is a lawsuit accusing the architects of doing that. Isn't that crazy? We have two people in the White House that are not be best. They're just not, because I would like to think if you're be best, you wouldn't even be involved. Your name would never be on a meme coin, Because right now, until they figure out the meme coins and people who know how it works, besides the snipers and the architects who know how to pump and dump these, buy a bunch of it before, let the price go up, sell it all, and have it drop. You would just think people that are about to be in the White House or the Gold House, whatever they're calling it, the demolished house, you'd think that they wouldn't even want to tie their names to it, for good standing, for moral standing with America, You don't want to be looking in the history books and go, when was the Melania Trump meme coin architect sued? I gotta study this so I can put on my history test. Oh my God. They're not coins, they're imaginary currency. I know. Don't vote red. Please don't. These people are like, why are you boys so frightened that people would have health care, guaranteed sick time, guaranteed vacation time, guaranteed education? I can't understand the people that are so intimidated and offended by that. Really, I see it all the time. And it's like, they work so hard, and how dare people have health care if something happens to them? Like, you need to travel outside of America and talk to foreigners, especially every other industrialized country that has universal health care. So they can laugh at you when you're like, you want people to lose their housing or go into medical debt if they just got sick? If life throws them a curveball and they get sick? Like, I don't understand. Billionaires are paying for it. Have I not gone over this? Guys, I found $500 billion. Republicans, if you want to vote red and have the deficit go up to 39 trillion, okay. But since they took over in January, where is it? I'll pull it back up. My Christ. Remember, it's all Republicans running things right now. The debt crossed 38 trillion. In January, it was 36. So 2 trillion in debt. Has your life gotten better? Have they funded anything? In fact, they cut all the funding. They cut funding for PBS, for special education, for WIC, SNAP, healthcare. They've cut funding on everything. How did our debt go up to 38 trillion? Oh, you know what they're doing? They're not taking taxes from rich people anymore. Oh, what are they doing? Ballrooms, golf trips, ice, bailing out Argentina. So they're spending a shitload of money, just not making any of our lives better. They're not putting price controls in, so these corporations that admit they price gouge us aren't doing that anymore. You know, this is an all Republican. This is what you get with all Republican, okay? Let's be very clear on that. So again, I found $500 billion. Let me show you this. The Republicans spent $2 trillion in 10 months. I found 1/4 of that back, and I've only taxed one person. An illegal immigrant named Elon Musk. He is a horrible union buster. Couldn't believe when I read his union busting stories. Not a good boss. Not a good boss at all. In fact, he brags about being a boss, but then shows you that he put a video game system in his office so he could play video games at work. That's not working very hard, but you don't like to shit on the people you lick their boots, do you? So I found $500 billion, and all I did was make him go from billionaire to 999 millionaire. Don't worry, he'll be fine. He'll be able to feed his family. Well, he does have like, what, 1 million kids, and he's there for none of them. It's funny, the family, the party of traditional values and family doesn't give a shit that Elon Musk like abandons his children. Does not care, you know. They don't hold him to account. Where's the father in the home, they always say, except when it's one of their own. But I found $500 billion by just taxing Elon Musk at 100% everything over 999 million. Look at that. Saving us money. I'm funding programs. I'm bringing PBS back, and I'm going to do PBS 2. We should do a PBS 2. Remember how they had MTV and MTV 2? We should do like a PBS Unplugged. Ow. Okay, so we went over Melania. Remember, this will be in the history books, that the First Lady's meme coin was accused of being fraud. But what's better for the history books, I feel, is this story. And I want to let Michael Wolff, if you don't listen to Michael Wolff on the Daily Beast, you really should. I linked the video to the Daily Beast YouTube channel down below because he talks. He spoke with Epstein for hours and hours and hours. That's where, you know, we got the information that there are Polaroid photos of Donald Trump with girls of an uncertain age, girls, not women, you understand, topless, sitting on his lap. And he's the one who saw those photos when Epstein took them out of a safe. And some of you people are still protecting this pedo pan. So he's had a lot of information. He sat with Epstein for many, many hours to write a book on Epstein. He's written a few books on Trump. And what happened, if you don't know the story, there were some claims, like how did Melania meet Trump? There's a bunch of different claims. Hold on. So here, Melania threatened to sue him for over $1 billion in damages if he didn't retract Jeffrey Epstein-related statements. Her and her husband have made practice of, and Michael Wolff responded saying, you know, this is, if you don't know about Donald Trump before he was president, this is how he would silence people. He would use his money to abuse the court system to silence people. Michael Wolff said, Donald Trump and Melania have made a practice of threatening those who speak against them with costly legal actions to silence their speech, to intimidate their critics generally, and to extract justification payments and North Korean-style confessions and apologies. Now, where is... He said the threats are designed to create a climate of fear in a nation so that people cannot speak freely, confidently exercise their First Amendment's rights. The threats are also meant to shut down the inquiry into the couple's involvement with Epstein, the notorious financier who died in jail. And then, where are the... I know I have the statements. Oh, among the statements the lawsuit said were true, Melania was very involved in Epstein's circle, where she met her future husband, and Donald Trump liked to have with his friends' wives and first slept with Melania Trump on Epstein's private jet. This is stuff that Epstein told him, and there's audio, too. Come here. You're just not going to be happy until I keep that door open. But you know what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So if you don't know, what happened was Melania, so now that you know what was said, Melania threatened, didn't sue him, threatened to sue him, which is also unprecedented that the president or first lady would sue a private American citizen to quiet them. You know, there's no defamation when you're the president, basically. That's even what Michael Wolff says. Like, you know, if you're the president, think about all the things they said about Barack Obama. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. So she threatened to sue him for like $1 billion if he didn't retract stuff. And this is how they get people to be silent. This is how they got obediency from these major corporations and the media outlets within those corporations. But stop, please stop. You gotta calm down. I'm not opening that door for you, okay? Just go lay down and chill out. No. But so Michael had said a bunch of things, and there's even something. Oh my God, hold on. This Snopes even had an article about this. No, you're gonna go up. You're gonna go up. So, there's other claims that basically I think have been wiped off of the web that were first reported by Michael Wolff. And if you watch Channel 5 with Andrew Callaghan, he interviewed Hunter Biden about this. Because I forget if it was a book or an article posted about Melania being this, and that's how she met Trump. And this is from Snopes. If you Google Melania escort Snopes, they'll bring up the article, they'll show you the back and forth, but there's almost nothing else you can find about it, coincidentally. I wonder, you know, if they paid some money to have that scrubbed. But if you want to watch, I think the Andrew Callaghan Channel 5 Hunter Biden apology video is still up. They go into the whole thing too, because Hunter Biden says it, and he says, I'm not going to apologize. And Hunter Biden says, go ahead and sue me. Then you have to be, you know, subpoenaed and you'll have to testify under oath. Although I don't think she would be best under oath. Remember who we're dealing with here, folks. We're dealing with people who are also accused of pump and dump frauds. Now, she's not named in the lawsuit, but she lent her name. I'm pretty sure they couldn't have done it without, you know, getting approval from her name. And at the same time, her husband did the same thing. And his also was kind of a pump and dump. But it's just incredible because if you're dealing with people of this character, I don't think they give a shit about oaths or Bibles or swearing or at least that kind of swearing. So, remember, folks, you know, this is who we're talking about. The guy who said, I'm going to release the files, and then he had Pam Blondie go on TV and said, they don't exist. They were on my desk, and now they don't exist. She probably should have said, like, we're We've been shredding them all. We've been spending days and nights to shred them. But if I linked the video to it's called Wolff, What I'm Gonna Ask Melania Under Oath. The podcast is called Inside Trump's Head, but it's a podcast on YouTube. You know, it's just like a Daily Beast production. Or like, you know how Spike Lee had a Spike Lee joint? It's like a Daily Beast joint. And it's called Wolff, What I'm Gonna Ask Melania Under Oath. The podcast from Daily Beast's YouTube channel is called Inside Trump's Head. Now remember, Michael Wolff has done a few books with this dude. He sat with this dude for many hours to interview this dude. So he intimately knows these people, like firsthand, you know. This guy went to his safe while he was sitting with Michael Wolff and took out Polaroids of girls, not women, girls of an uncertain age, sitting topless on this dude's lap. Hey, what's up, October's daughter? I'm not feeling better, but thank you. I'm still here. I'm not feeling better, but I'm still here. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thank you. Good to see you. And CJ, thank you for always doing work in the comments. I appreciate you. Spread love for profit. I love. Spread love for profit. Henrietta. Oh my gosh. That is a funny way to put it. That is so funny. Hey, Francis, what's up? Good to see you, Francis. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. I love the people like Bobby D who think saying these creeps are bad. The people that are friends in this circle are liars, cheats, steals, and grifters. The people that are being sued for meme coin pump and dumps, the people that try to sue the people who critique them are bad. And what did this dude say? Like a 4chan Reddit, got to take care of your mental health. Bro, I would say you probably got to take care of the way you're living your life if you support these guys, okay? And I even think, ironically, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the president, that's his new name. He even thinks that. Because he called you a stupid person. He said, smart people don't like me. Smart people don't like him. And I would agree. You know, most people I know that are like, oh, he's clearly a lying grifter. He's lied many times about almost everything. And he sues people to quiet them. He doesn't let anyone. He lets nobody talk bad about him. Nobody criticize him, critique him. What kind of, like, I just want you to think about that. Here in America, where you claim you like free speech, you can't critique, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the president. Just shut up, Bobby, and go be obedient in the corner. Go to Polio Rogan's channel, and I'm sure he'll have some CIA guy on to tell you, oh, it's the woke left. Yeah, the woke left that has no power, no control in America. If the woke left was in control, let me tell you, this is what we would do, and I'd implement it tomorrow against your will, Bobby. You would have to never pay for healthcare again because I would tax billionaires, Bobby. Bobby, when your lifestyle leads you to a heart attack at an early age, you would never consider calling Uber or have your dog call Uber, because I'm guessing there's no wife in your life. But you would never have to call Uber. You know why? Because we tax billionaires and you have universal health care and you could call an ambulance and you don't have to worry about it. Here in America, people actually consider Uber over the cost of an ambulance. But now with Uber rates going up, who knows? Maybe they're like 50-50. But if the woke left, and again, remember, when they tell you about the woke left, the media is owned by billionaires and paid for by politicians, basically. They're one and the same now. We have a failed CEO in the White House who's a felon. The media is hard right, if not diet right. The politicians are all Republicans. The Democrats are just Republican light. The billionaires are all wanting to have libertarian or company towns. Facebook, Tesla, they all want company towns where you live and work in the same place. Oh yeah, that's got to be fun. There is no left, because if there was, in the land of the free, women would have the right of their body. They wouldn't have fucking the misogynist system telling them what they could do. We wouldn't allow this kind of bullshit, this wealth inequality to happen. We would tax billionaires out of existence. We would tax megachurches. We would have universal health care. So shut up. I know some people love to they love to be confidently stupid. That's one thing, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe the president really gave people.
Smart people don't like me.
He said, smart people don't like me. And those people thought, oh, I love him. Let me be confidently stupid because I have the White House in my pocket. But just don't show it off here. Just don't. Okay, let's get back to the story. So, well, yeah, James, that's kind of true as well. Wasn't it, what's his name? Netanyahu, didn't he say like something like, I can make Trump do anything? I forget what that was on. Was it? I forget where that came out of, but yeah. Angelica. Anchieta Gratan. I love that name. Oh my God. Mwah, chef's kiss to the name. Confidently stupid. That's what you got to call Angelica. I say they're like a peacock, okay? They're like a peacock, a stupid little peacock. And they love to put out their plumage of stupidness. And they go, look at me. Look at all the bright, feathery colors I have of idiocracy. And that's what it is. Like, they're loud and stupid. They are loud and confidently stupid. Like, they say very stupid things, and they think, well, that must be true. I don't need to think about anything, even though it's right in front of my face. So, you hate politicians. That's why you voted for Trump. He's more politician than he is businessman. You understand that. Politicians are just slick liars. That's it. They give lip service to the people and really do what their corporate masters want. That's it. That's it. That's the game, folks. That's why you got to try to get people in there that, here's my thing, just so you know. When the left does take over, and we're going to, not only are you going to always be able to call an ambulance, I mean, you fucking, you get a stub toe, call an ambulance. That's how awesome it's going to be. And we're going to force it upon you. Your kids have a disability, pick out the best wheelchair for them. Imagine fighting against this. This is the funniest part. There's going to be some tough hardos out there like, oh, not with my tax money. No, you're going to get a tax break. We're taxing the billionaires. Didn't you hear? I found $500 billion by taxing one billionaire, Elon Musk. Don't worry, he's an illegal immigrant. Don't you hate those people? They're so filled with irony. But I think we need new rules. Nobody over 55 as president, okay? When the leftists take over. After 55, you can't be president. Technology is changing too much. The guy we have in is almost 80, and they're talking about him running again in 4 more years. I'm sorry. I don't want an 88-year-old president. Are you kidding me? Right? What are we going to watch him do? Poop his pants? Jesus. So after 55. Also, 45 is the new retirement age. So that way you have 10 years to retire and then, maybe run for president in your last couple before the age cutoff. Also, your net wealth cannot exceed. We're going to have a maximum wage. So if you want to run for any political thing and you're like, ooh, my family's rich. Sorry, disqualified. You're out. You don't get to. And I know this is going to upset some of you. I understand, even though you're not in that group. You just love defending them. You think someday Jeff Bezos is going to come down and pat you on the head and say, good boy peeing in bottles and never taking a break. Even though I still replaced you with robots. It's funny.
There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things.
Donald Trump said that during his Tylenol raid. There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things. And I don't know if he knows this or not, maybe because he's one of the stupid people running things that Donald Trump said. But it's all Republicans running shit right now. And this is what Donald Trump said.
There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things.
There's a lot of stupid people in this country running things. And then he said,
smart people don't like me.
Smart people don't like him. So he called the stupid people in control stupid, which is all the Republicans. And then he said, smart people don't like him. And he called his fan base stupid. But he did it kind of slick. So some MAGA didn't pick up on it when they said, smart people don't like me. Well, who does that leave? Stupid people like him. But he also, when they were still wanting the Epstein files, this is why they all got quiet. This is why they have an echo chamber of, let's just support him, guys. This is why their echo chamber is just, I'm gonna just listen to my friends in the government, man. If they say there's no list, there's no list. Because maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the president. Orange makeup, gender affirming makeup right here. Pedo Pan said, if you still want the Epstein files, you're a stupid weakling. So he even called his own base stupid weaklings. And they're still in here bootlicking. You guys are the saddest group of bootlickers. Out of all the bootlickers throughout history, you guys are exceptional. You will be in the history books. You will be. I want to play this clip of Michael Wolff. So, again, this video is down there in the description. I highly encourage you, watch the whole thing. It's 44 minutes, and it's a great watch. I love listening to Michael Wolff. He's fascinating. Think about it. He wrote 2 books on Donald Trump, interviewed him. He sat with Jeffrey Epstein for hours, if not days on end, to interview him because Epstein wanted him to write a book on him. And now he's suing. Be Best, tried to sue. Be Best meme coin, Melania, Be Best, threatened to sue him if he didn't shut up. And he said, no, we're in America. I can report on shit, even if you don't like it, if it hurts your feelings. So he turned around and said, no, I'm going to sue you. And now I can subpoena you, and maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the president, and now you can go under oath and really tell us about the Epstein files, which everyone should be for that, right? I think that's one thing we can all agree on as Americans. We should have the Epstein files. We should hold those who are in them accountable. We should seek justice for the survivors, right? That's a simple thing. So I want to play some of this because he talks about him suing her.
About what someone in the White House said to me this morning. Well, no one saw that coming.
He's talking about him instead of, because he was being threatened to be sued, and Be Best, and maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the president, did not expect him to turn around and say, because they have billions of dollars. They ran meme coin, pump and dump scheme. They, took Qatari jets. They sued mainstream media outlets and got millions. So they have an endless bankroll to just go after people to silence them. So the last thing they're expecting is to get sued back and be put under oath, because the last thing they want to do is tell the truth, especially about Epstein. But so that's what Michael's talking about. I'm speeding it up a little so we can get through it.
We have sued the First Lady, and we will. And the importance of that is that it gives me subpoena power. I can subpoena the First Lady, the president of her husband, the president, and anyone else who might shed light on the relationship of Donald Trump and Melania Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. In other words, this might be a way to actually get to the bottom of this story, to open the curtain, the dark curtain, and we'll see how they feel about that.
Wow. You would think everybody would be for this, right? But there's a sect of America that's in a cult. And by the way, I'm not here to convince you to leave the cult. I'm not here to make you see the light. You've made your mind, you've closed off your mind, and whatever Be Best's husband, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's the president, says, that's what you go along with. You do it out of spite, hate, fear, your fragile ego, enjoying other Americans' suffering. Really, some of the worst qualities that you could read about in the Bible. And I'm not here to do anything with you. I'm planting seeds all day long, but when that seed sprouts, or if you even water that seed, that's up to you. I can plant the seeds and show you the truth and show you what's going on and show you that a guy that says, I'll release the files, then he has Pam Blondie say, there are no files, and then he says, you still want the files, you're weak and stupid, probably isn't a guy you should trust. But, you know, his racism and hatred dates back to the 70s. He's just a entitled, Nepo baby, rich kid, coastal elite that without Fred Trump would be nothing. He would be poor. Without his daddy, he would be nothing. Go look up all the businesses. Trump Airlines, I'm sure you're flying those, right? Trump Steaks, you probably had one tonight. Trump Water, how do you fucking fail a water company? Or a casino, how do you bankrupt multiple casinos? And we've talked about it here. But for the rest of us, I'm building community. I'm building a huge channel. It's going to be bigger than Mr. Beast, and we're not going to just survive somewhere for 5 days. In fact, we'll do a video surviving in America for a lifetime, and we'll talk to people. That's what I like to do. But most importantly, I like to build community, because that's how we get through this. Once we start to realize that we're the 99%, there's much more of us than there are of them, and we're letting a little fascist billionaire group of like a few white guys and a couple gay white guys and a couple of white guys with gender affirming care wearing makeup and doing Botox and hair implants and their little mouthpieces. You know, Tim, always wear a hat because I'm bald and fragile with my ego. I don't read the whole article, but I, you know, will tell you the headline and then be surprised when I have to cut myself off because I didn't read it. Their mouthpieces like Polio Rogan, who has Peter Thiel's friends in the CIA on now. Weird. Those people shouldn't be able to dictate the misery for the rest of us because there is an abundance of wealth. Elon Musk has $500 billion, half a trillion. If we just tax him, we could afford a lot more. And don't worry, for all you MAGA that, you know, say, no, don't tax billionaires. What if I told you Elon Musk is an illegal immigrant from South Africa? His brother said it. Let me play the clip. Maybe that will change your mind if I said he's an illegal immigrant. Or are you, did I just glitch your brain?
They realized that we were illegal immigrants.
That's Kimball Musk talking about him and his brother Elon. Yes, you're right. We're sad that nobody's critically thinking about things. Who said winning like Charlie Sheen? Yo, Charlie Sheen looks beat up, and that dude was not winning for a long time. Trumpstein. But anyways, we're here to build community. So MAGA, don't worry. Don't worry. You can go on your hateful little lives and hate people, you know, sick of the injustice, sick of the wealthy abusing their power, not being held accountable. But for the rest of us, who this propaganda machine didn't work on to make us not care about our neighbors who are Americans, who we don't want to go into debt because they want to get smarter, get an education, stay healthy, have a home, hit subscribe. For the people who, you know, worship this dude, hold on, let me show you their position. Let me show you how they're typing. Well, wait, let me show you his poetry first. This is how some, oh, wait. Where is it? There we go. This is how, CJ, just so you know, I don't know if you heard it yesterday, they're typing. You can't tell, but this statue of the MAGA dude who kept falling, assuming the position. I don't know if he was falling or assuming the position for Trump, but they're typing. That's what they're doing under there. So, but, you know, the people that are anti-American, that are still supporting Trump, who's kicking people off healthcare, defunding public education, special needs education, defunding PBS, trying to remove anybody who talks bad about him, who threatened to sue a reporter for trying to uncover more about the Epstein Files. You know, we don't support pump and dumps, stealing from Americans. We don't support any of this. Definitely assuming the position. That right? I don't know because I wasn't there, but I seen the video and I thought, oh, that's funny. He's either falling down or assuming the position. Oh, I was gonna play. Sorry. I played the Elon Musk clip, but there was. Oh no. And they said this is the first time in history the First Lady has been sued. There's a precedent, man. The White House demolished. Where is what we will seek from Melania? Where is the shit? Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. There's another clip I wanted to. Oh.
Imagine being able to build anything.
Shut up. Michael Wolff talks about how he has hours and hours of recordings of him and Jeffrey Epstein talking. And he said, so if we have to go to subpoena and they want to say one thing, he said, maybe I'll bring Jeffrey Epstein back from the grave and play his clips about what he said about Melania and Trump, which is crazy. That's the Republicans' position. Hold on.
The grave to change the political narrative here in the States. And of course, this week we've got the publication of Virginia Giuffre. She doesn't name the prime.
But the one prime minister I met.
No.
That we're doing, that we're rather excited about, which is.
I lost it. Sorry. I played the Kimball Musk saying him and Elon were both illegal immigrants here to America. Which is funny that MAGA doesn't care that that illegal immigrant isn't paying his taxes and abusing American workers and taking American workers' jobs. It's so weird, you know, how they pick and choose. It's almost like they just do it on the color of skin. Anyways, I highly encourage you to watch the video. I linked it down below, this whole video, because it's fascinating. Because like Michael Wolff says, if I get to subpoena, well, I can subpoena Melania. Maybe it's Maybelline president, and then they have to go under oath and be deposed and tell the truth. And he even says, like, they're going to do everything to not tell the truth. These people aren't, you know, they don't pride themselves on honesty or fucking ethics or morality or character. But he says if it comes to it, he has tapes and tapes of tapes and tapes of him talking with Epstein. He said maybe we'll hear it out of Epstein's own mouth. Discovery. Thank you. Oh, Thorben. Good to see you, Thorn. Good to see you. Who is talking about... Wait. Trump has made bad deal after bad deal his whole life, and now our entire country is paying his debts. That is true. That is very true. The real deal. Are you just repeating what Donald Trump tried to say? It's funny when MAGA goes, oh, typical den name calling. That's what Donald Trump said about him. Donald Trump berated Wolff as a third-rate reporter, and one lengthy social media post called him a total fake job. Junk, he wrote. His other books have been discredited. This one will be too. So you're just repeating stuff that, again, the real deal. I want you to hear, like, it's almost like you're in this disillusioned reality where your feelings are more than actual reality. Remember, Michael Wolff sat with Epstein, has recordings with him. You know what I mean? So it's just funny because if you listen to any of what Michael Wolff says, he has credible inside sources with people in the White House still. Donald Trump allowed him to write 2 books about him. So it's just amazing. I mean, you'll just do anything. You do these mental gymnastics where you look like this. Let me show you how you look when you're bending over for Trump. This is what you do to make your make yourself try to be credible. Andrea, how are you? Good to have you here. For those maybe just showing up or just don't know, when the real leftists take over, this is what we're implementing. We're gonna rip the souls out of corporations. We're gonna take personhood back from corporations and Citizens United. Women have a right to choose term limits, universal health care, no more stock trading, tax mega churches, raise the federal minimum wage to $66 an hour. So when the leftists take over, if you hear slow Polio Rogan talking about the woke this and that, there's no left in America. There's none. It's Republicans and diet Republicans, Republican light. We have nothing that's for workers, for the working people. It's billionaires and their politician puppets. But when we do take over, because this is pushing us to a precipice, a crescendo, if you will, where it's going to push us off the precipice, and there will be a reckoning. We're going to hold these people accountable because the crimes they've committed, not only against humanity, but against hardworking Americans, disabled Americans, Americans with disabilities, old Americans, young American, every American. We got to hold these people in power to account. I approve of all those. Good, good, good. And we're gonna add some more. We're gonna add some more. Like no more 80-year-old presidents. I'm sorry. When I hear Steve Bannon, that white supremacist, start talking about Trump 2028, I'm like, you want a fucking 80-something-year-old as president? You know he's a puppet at that point. But just the fact that these same people said Joe Biden's old and they want like an 85-year-old president. I'm like, so we're gonna make the president age cutoff 55. If you're 54 and elected, you can still serve, but 55, the technology changes too quick, and you're too susceptible to pump and dump schemes after 55. You know, if you are in the demographic of people to be warned about scam calls, yeah. You always hear about the Nigerian prince email scam, and you have to warn your grandparents about it. If you're in that demographic, you don't get to be president. And then we're also going to make the retirement age 45 so people can actually enjoy their lives. And then we're going to make a 3-day work week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. And then the rest of you that want to work the rest of the days because you don't have friends or family, or your family don't like you, mostly because, you know, you're a dick. You could still work as much as you want. Jeff Bezos will, I'm sure he'll buy a little island. He'll buy a barge and start Amazon Island where you just work, you know, and then you take a nap in position. Hold on, you take a nap in position. Let me show you the position. When Tesla and Bezos Town start up their little libertarian islands, you work and then you take a nap in this position and then you get up and work again. Bernie's an independent. He's not a Democrat. These people are so sad. They're like, I want a 90-year-old president. So MAGA, you know, try not to assume their position so hard. For the rest of us, there's hope. I know it's dark times because the billionaires and coastal elites are allowing corporations to run amok. Mainstream media is bought out by all these hard right billionaires, and Jeff Bezos and his kin, are all having their way with America. Meanwhile, American workers are suffering. Small businesses are closing. The president's cutting off trade all over the world, taxing us more while he's giving them tax breaks. But don't worry, this is coming. We're going to make it happen. You hit subscribe, join the coalition, join the community, join the family. I'm live every single weekday. And I'm going to try to start a thing for the weekends. I was looking at, I think there's like there's something on YouTube where we can join a separate thing. I think it's like membership. I don't know. Because I was going live on weekends, but I think I'm going to make it a separate thing where just us can talk about real shit. You know, get into the nitty gritty where it's not all these fuzz. I love when people come to this. Countries with universal health care are very tax heavy. You're right. We're going to tax the billionaires heavily, very heavily. So don't worry, cool hand Luke. We're going to tax the billionaires so much that they're not going to be billionaires anymore. And if they want to leave, good luck, because they'll have to go to those other tax heavy countries too. So we're going to make it happen. I know there's people that always want to naysay and come up with ways that it can't happen. There's so many people that are willing to work on an issue and think of speed or think of ways that it can happen as to think of the great implementation of it and how it can happen. And it really bums me out. It shows how much the system here in America has just cut you down, put you on your knees. Women, 100% have a right to choose. Yeah, Edward, that was the subscriber mode only. We did that too for a little bit. I forgot about that. But yeah, so I'm trying to look into other ways to spend my weekends not having these cult members just saying, you can't do that, you can't do that. No. Meanwhile, the life expectancy in America is dropping drastically. And they're like, no, it's fine, everything's cool. It's unreal what people will suffer just to make sure their neighbors don't do well. It's selfishness. It's the rugged individualism that has propagated their mind. Hey, buddy, you just get up? Hey, little man, come here. Yeah, Madeline. Nobody should be a vessel against their will, especially in the land of the free. You know what I mean? Like, you can't claim, oh, this is the land of the free, and then not allow people the right over their body. I say, if they're not going to give women the right to choose, then, men shouldn't be able to get that little blue pill. Men should, have to, any man convicted of SA or anything like that should have to get a snip. Just make it fair. Just make it fair then. Bodily autonomy on this channel, 100%. 100%. Come here, buddy. Hold on, CJ. Hold on. Come here, little funny man. Little funny man. It's old Sergeant Orangey. What was I calling you the other day? I was just calling him Orangey because I can't think of a name. Luke, you say maybe taxing billionaires is okay, but I'm mostly against taxing the rich because you only get paid as much as the boss can afford to pay you. Luke, you don't. Poor little Luke. You understand that these bosses do stock buybacks, pay themselves in compensation, and it's all unrelated to how much they could pay you. They're not paying you how much they could pay you. They're paying you as little as they can so they can pay themselves as much as they can. You should really look into this because taxing them has nothing to do with how much they pay you. Really, nothing. In fact, taxing them is going to create better systems in our country. And what we need to do is raise the federal minimum wage. We need to make stock buybacks illegal. You really gotta just look into it, man. We can spend a day and go into how that shit is nonsense. It's another fear tactic they use to say, oh, if you tax us, no, what are we gonna do? You can't pay people. You don't pay people anyways, and you don't pay taxes. You understand what I'm saying? They pay almost nothing in taxes. Almost nothing. And they're not paying people. You think taxing them will make them pay you less than minimum? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Just, even these arguments don't make any sense on their face. Oh, hold on, CJ. The princess got up now. Hey, little princess. Little princess, you just woke up? Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And remember, the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. Congress has given themselves multiple wages. Salaries for CEOs used to be 20 to 1, the median employee, and now in some cases they're 6,000 to 1. What has changed? We haven't taxed the wealth, and CEOs pay themselves exorbitant amounts. It's not about immigrant. It's not, we can afford all this shit. We've let a few people at the top buy off our politicians, and allow the media, which is owned by the billionaires, to convince you that you're just not working hard enough, when in reality, they have all the assets, all the money, they've hoarded it all. If you believe that money is finite and, oh, there's not enough to go around, then I got bad news for you. It's those billionaires that are hoarding it all, not the poor people. So invest in our neighbors, invest in each other, and tax wealth, not work. Have a great night. And Angelica, Madeline, thank you guys for stopping by. Hopefully you guys hit subscribe and then hit the notification bell. And you join me again, because we're not stopping till we get all this done. And Americans have 4 paid weeks of vacation, paternal, maternal leave, paid for by the company, never earn sick time again, guaranteed sick time, guaranteed health care, women right to choose, guaranteed fucking education if you want to pursue it. We're gonna make this happen. We can. We have the wealth. It's just distributed wrong. So we're gonna make it. All right, guys. October's daughter. Good to see you. And CJ, thank you. The Epstein Ballroom. Skylar, is that what they're calling it? That's what they gotta call it. And I think they should put this. So that's so great. Sorry, I had to acknowledge that. So it should be the Epstein Ballroom, and this will be the centerpiece. This will be hanging from the chandelier. Thank you for the positive vibes, Angelica. Appreciate you. Thorben. Same as any other developed country. Kid loves your kitty. Oh, hold on. Wait, the kid's there? Hold on. Let me grab the little Harry Potter kitty. She just got it. Come here, you. No, so I thought this one was a fire sign Pokemon because of this. But then my oldest daughter said, oh, it's Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter Pokemon. Hyena. Ow, ow, ow. Little claws, stop. Little claws, stop. I know. She just got up, so she wants to go play. Hold on 1 second. Just say hi. Okay. Ah! She tried jumping right out my camera. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Be kind to one another. Love unselfishly, like Jesus said. And for everybody who hit the notification bell, I might just see you tomorrow. Until I figure out what I'm going to do with weekends. Because this message, we need to take our country back from the billionaires and their puppets, their mouthpieces. But I'd like to still do something on the weekend. So I'll figure it out. And until then, hit the notification bell after you subscribe. And it's so great to see you. And welcome to all the new subs. Hopefully you're a sub. Much love to you. And all the little kitties are fighting. They all just got up, so they're all wrestling. I'll show you guys the kitties tomorrow, maybe. All right. Peace.